My name is Joey Raymond, and let's talk some baseball. And more specifically, let's talk about one of the most interesting, most fun teams to watch in baseball right now. Let's talk about the Cincinnati Reds. And I'm going to pick them as the most, not only just entertaining team to watch right now, but the team that, in my opinion, is on the rise in Major League Baseball. And I'm picking them not because they're the obvious choice, but honestly because they're the most fun choice. The most obvious choice would probably be the Baltimore Orioles, and I'd love to talk about them too. But for now, let's stick with Cincinnati, because Cincinnati seemingly came out of nowhere to take a hold of the NL Central, and as I'm recording this, the Reds are in first place. The Reds have so much young talent, it is absolutely insane. And they're using it to their full advantage in the big leagues and the minor leagues. The Reds have so much young talent, and it's amazing. They have more on the way. So if you think the Reds are good now, they're only going to get better. It's more than likely by the end of this year that we see other major hitting prospect, Christian Encarnacion Strand, come up, who, everything that I've seen, everything that I've heard, every person that I've talked to, they pretty much argue that he's a better hitter than even Elly De La Cruz, and I know that a ton of people are obsessed with Elly De La Cruz, as they should be. The Reds have an absolute stud on their hands with Elly De La Cruz. But, they also have serious pitching prospects that they have used even already. Andrew Abbott, who's currently 4-0 with a 1.21 ERA, has currently become one of the best relievers in baseball. They've got 3 guys going to the All-Star game in reliever Alexis Diaz, starter Graham Ashcraft, and second baseman Jonathan India, who has been a quiet superstar in the making for years. He just hasn't had the protection and the players that he does around him like he does right now, being around Joey Votto and Elly De La Cruz and Matt McClain. All of these players are really good and are going to be really good for a long time. And honestly, let's talk about Matt McClain for a second, who's only 23, by the way, and is absolutely crushing it right now, hitting with a .321 average and hitting 6 homers. I mean, this team, in my opinion, has one of the best mixes of young talent surrounded by a veteran presence in a really long time. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love to see a veteran arm come in and guide these young, talented superstars like Hunter Greene and Graham Ashcraft. And yes, I know that Hunter Greene is out till August, but if you can get a veteran to come in and be ready and show him when Hunter Greene returns, that would be amazing. I'd love to see the Reds go out and get a guy like Lance Lynn or Jordan Montgomery. And I know that both of those are kind of a stretch because the Reds don't like to give up their prospects or spend money, but it would be really cool to have that as an option going into the playoffs, because I really do believe that the Reds are going to be a playoff team this year, which is something that not a lot of people saw. That, and you've got to replace the struggling starter Luke Weaver. I mean, he's just not been great this year. He's given up a ton of runs, and so I'd just love to see them get another player, another starter who can eat up innings. My preference would be Lance Lynn, but I'd have a feeling that the White Sox would want a king's ransom for Lance Lynn. Regardless of that, though, these Reds have set themselves up for themselves to be a fun team to watch for years to come. A lot of their players right now are on very team-friendly contracts. I'd love to see them do like what the Braves and the Dodgers have done, where they locked up a lot of their young talent. Or even like what the Reds did back in the day with Joey Votto, and just start building that another dynasty, and really start kind of building themselves and setting themselves up for the future. I truly believe that baseball is better when the NL Central is competitive. I mean, you think about all the rivalries, you think about all of the absolute amazing talent and the amazing fan bases that are in the NL Central, and I would really love to see them be competitive for a really long time, and I believe that they have the opportunity to do that.